A few months ago, I shared with you that I was learning to play the bass guitar. And it was great. It's one of those things that you talk about in a sermon and then people start kind of checking in on you. Some of you have even seen me at my lessons and have honked at me, say, how is it going? How is it going? Oh, well, it's going super slow. I actually, in my imagination, I thought that at this point, I would be much better at it than I am. But can I let you into a secret? I'm still not practicing as much as my teacher wants me to practice. So every time I get a bit discouraged and concerned, my teacher very patiently asks me, how much practice time are you doing? And I have to acknowledge that I'm not practicing as much as he wants me to. Not even close. So that might explain the reason why I'm not moving or progressing as much as I should. Because at the end of the day, playing the basic guitar is not necessarily a natural gift set of mine. I'm learning it, but it's not a natural gift set. Now, we all have natural gift sets that seem like innate to us. There are things that come easy for us. We all have them. Like, I do get a little nervous when I get in front of people, still to this day, but I love it. I love getting in front of a crowd and talking to them, and even this kind of thing here on digital where I get in front of a camera. At first it was a little weird, but after a while you kind of get used to it, and it's good. I have my own set of gift sets. No, my gift set is narrow, right? I don't. There are people around me that are gifted in so many different ways, but I have my own set of gifts, and that's the case for all of us. You have gift sets and abilities. You have things to give others, and so the question is, how are you exercising that gift set? Well, today's scripture invites us into an exploration of the gift sets. And in fact, it calls them spiritual gifts. Now, I'm not going to get too caught up on the list of those because I actually think there is a plethora of spiritual gifts. This list is just one, and in fact, the writer of this letter has given us a different sets of lists in the different letters. But what I want you to think about with me today is then, in light of those gift sets that you have, think about it for a moment. What are those? What are you really good at? What's natural for you? What are the things that you do that bring you joy, that put a smile on your face? What are the things that you do that people go, my gosh, you're so good at that? And okay, now think about those things. Maybe write them down just for a moment. And now what we have today in today's scripture is something interesting, which is that, okay, those gifts, that list you have in front of you, that one thing, two things, three things, five things that you're really like, you were made for, are you using those gifts for what? How are those gifts being maximized in your life? How are those gifts going beyond your own personal sense of who you are, which is important and it's good, but are they going beyond you? See, Christian life is often an invitation to go beyond me, myself, and I. We all have that tendency to get kind of navel-gazing and to be so worried about ourselves that we don't see anyone else or anything else. We have a tendency to make everything about us, kind of very egocentric, we humans are. And so our own gift sets and abilities, we might only think of them in those kind of ways. Oh, how can they benefit me? And in our society, we make those things kind of transactional, right? How can I exchange this gift set for money? How can I exchange this gift set for power? How can I exchange this gift set for influence? Oh my gosh, don't even get me started about the influencer culture out there. The way of Jesus invites us to think about our gift sets in a very different way. They're meant, as the Scripture tells us, to build the community. They're meant for the common good. So you bring your gift set, and I bring my gift set, and then the other person brings it, and then we together are able to not just strengthen our own sense of self, of human beings, beloveds of God, who are sealed by the power of the Spirit, God's own divinity showing through us, right? But then we together, using our variety of gift sets, so that we can build a common good. We can build a better world. We can build a world that's more just and more compassionate. We together, using our gift sets to strengthen one another, so that when someone around us is going through a difficult time or they're weaker, we can lift them up, right? We come alongside them and make sure that they're stronger, that they're not alone. That's a different way of thinking about those gifts, whatever they are. From the very beginning of the church movement, the Jesus way, that's been part of our role together as the church. And people bring their musical gifts, and people bring their speaking gifts, and people bring their hospitality gifts, and people bring their gifts with children and youth, and people bring their gift sets with administrating the life together, and some people bring their gift sets of caring for one another, being present for one another, and the question is, how can we continue to use our gift sets? We are a community full of gifts. The question is, how are we maximizing those for this shared project that we call First-Plymouth, this expression of the body of Jesus in the world that we call First-Plymouth? How are we putting those gift sets around us, and not using them as another transactional aspect, right? For money or influence or power or control, but instead to give them away, so that we together are a community that models for our neighbors what goodness, grace, mercy, forgiveness, restoration, healing looks like. What are your gifts? And how are we using them to that common good? So you might consider, maybe you have teaching gifts. You know what would be great to have right now at First-Plymouth? More Sunday school teachers. Imagine that. Just if you gave 1 hour of your time once a month or every other month, so that our young people know the story of Jesus and are learning ways to practice love in the world. Maybe your gift set is hospitality. We want some of that. You know, maybe you like to bake cookies. You know, we need someone to bake cookies on Sunday mornings. Have you tasted our cookies? They're really good. We need someone to put them in the oven and bring them upstairs. Or we need people that are connecting with our neighbors in cool ways, and we need people that offer their musical gifts. We still have room in the choir and in other places. So just imagine. And my hunch is that as we do this exercise together, that not just new gifts emerge, right? Because the gifts are endless, but then new opportunities for ministry emerge. Because then your gift set meets a need in our neighborhood, in our community, in our church community that we've never thought about before. That's some exciting work. So people of God, as we continue to land into 2025, every gift you have has been given to you by God to help our community be stronger, better, more loving, and then with your gifts and my gifts and all of our gifts together, for us to be a powerful community of hope, peace, and love right here in Lincoln and beyond. Cannot wait to see what gift sets are unleashed in 2025.